Firm in their resolve are the Bulls that they want to end the March series on a high and snap this 5-month-long jinx that the Bulls have been facing in terms of monthly returns. You're watching Midcap Radar live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Hormuz Fatakia. With me as always is Vivek Iyer. Vivek, good afternoon. And the Nifty looks like it's going to end the monthly expiry on a high as of now. The broader markets too, not too bad.
Not too bad, not too much to complain about. It's expiry, so especially in the last hour, last 2 hours, there could be some volatility that we'll have to face, especially given the fact that there'll be quite a lot of rollover activity. Quite a lot lined up on the show. Let's start off with the top headlines. Frontline stocks push higher on D Street, while mid-caps underperform relatively. Financials and defense gain, while pharma and auto index trade with cuts.
Donald Trump has announced the imposition of a 25% tariff on all cars, LCVs and auto part imports into the US from the 2nd of April. That has spooked auto stocks. Tata Motors is a key loser on fears of tariffs denting JLR sales, along with stocks like Sona BLW.
IRM Energy buzzing in trade as company secures a 5-year contract with Shell Energy India for the supply of regasified liquefied natural gas.
And we'll be in conversation with the management of IRM Energy in just a bit. But NBCC too has surged in trade as the company has signed an MOU with Mahaprate for projects in Maharashtra with an estimated value of over 25,000 crore rupees. And these projects will be executed in a phased manner over the next 3 to 5 years.
JB Pharma is under pressure after 5.7% equity shares get exchanged via a block deal. Promoter KKR subsidiary TAU Investment is likely seller in this particular block deal. Welcome to Midcap Radar. Well, the markets have found a little bit of steam, especially in the last half hour of the session. A couple of stocks that are doing very well. Paytm, now this particular stock, especially in the last half hour, has surged and in fact now trading near the day's highest point, almost 3% higher for Paytm. And like we mentioned a little while earlier, the entire banking pack is doing very well, and now HDFC Bank is the other name that's up almost 2% in the session, 1.8% higher as far as HDFC Bank is concerned. But this is our special segment, Midcap Movers. Hormaz has gone to the wall. Hormaz, take us through the list of midcaps that are moving around in the session.
Well, looking at how we started off the day with all the tariffs and the uncertainties, the handover from Wall Street, it's not bad going on the street, even if we may not be surging hammer and tongs, but it's good going anyway. We'll start off with the gainers then that are in the broader markets in today's session. RHI Magnesita, 9% higher in today's session. The top gainer on the Nifty 500. Gujarat Pipavav, Adani Energy Solutions too doing well for itself at the highest point of the day, and Welspun Corp too having a good day at the office today, 4.5% higher in today's trading session. Some of the newsmakers in today's trade, there are plentiful of them. Of course, you start off with the auto ancillary names of Sona BLW at 6.5% lower at the lowest point of the day now. JB Chemicals, as Vivek just mentioned, because of the block deal at one point was down 7 to 8%, but still down 6. BSC, of course, is going to consider a bonus issue over the weekend. And GAIL, we spoke to the management earlier in the day, some very positive commentary coming in there. The stock at the highest point of the day. Some of the others that are moving around in today's session with the shareholder lock-ins ending. Unimex, some very interesting price actions here. Unimex, of course, down 4.5%, but look at Manba Finance, the spike that it saw, and now coming off those highs, still at gains of around 2%, and Yatra Online too, 3.5% lower. These three have seen their shareholder lock-ins end in today's trading session. Stocks that are doing well on the back of volumes and not too well as well. Look at Capri Global. At one point was up 10% just a few minutes ago and is now down 5.5%. By now, that stock has had 10 crore shares traded in volume, and the last 3 sessions has had volumes of anywhere between 1 to 2 lakhs. Newgen Software, Aadhar Housing, GSFC too having a good day in terms of very strong volumes. And lastly, some stocks that are not doing well in today's trading session. Some of the losers, the AU Small Finance Bank at the lows, Sundaram Finance is at the lows as well. So some of bit of NBFC is seeing some bit of profit booking, and KPIT Tech too seeing some bit of red in today's session, Vivek.
Thank you so much, Hormaz. You just mentioned Capri Global. If we could pull up the intraday chart of Capri Global, the intraday high was almost at 230 rupees a share. It's cooled off significantly. At one point of time, like you mentioned, up almost 10%. It's cooled off significantly from the day's highest points. Capri Global is the stock that we're talking about. But it's a good time to welcome Nagraj Shetty of HDFC Securities for a technical check on the market. Thank you so much for joining us, Nagraj. What are your views on the index levels at the current juncture, and especially going to expiry? Do you expect volatility to continue?
Hi, good afternoon. If you look at last 2 weeks chart of Nifty, the overall sentiment has been changed significantly from the downtrend to uptrend. Now the Nifty is in a strong upside momentum. We have seen a couple of sessions of sizable decline, and the Nifty facing a resistance around 23,800 levels, and 23,400 is going to be the support. So I'm expecting upside momentum to continue from here onwards. Once Nifty moves above the hurdle of 23,800 levels, the next upside target would be around 24,200 levels, and the overall chart pattern is looking positive. I'm expecting more upside in the near term. So I have two stocks from the different sectors. First one is the EPL Limited, Nelco Limited. Chartically, if you look at the Nelco, it was in a strong downside momentum over the last many months, and recently it has formed a base around 750 level, which is a strong support and bounce back. The overall chart pattern is indicating a formation of good, strong support and bottom reversal for the stock price. Currently trading around 918, 920. One can look to buy at this point of time. And the upside target would be around 975, 980. And one can place a stop loss at 880 levels. And second one is Majgaon Dock. This stock has been in a range-bound action over the last few months and recently made an attempt to move above the range movement. Currently trading around 2,700 levels. One can look to buy at this point of time. 2850 is going to be the immediate target, and one can place a stop loss at 2,600.
Nagraj, thank you so much for sparing time and joining us today with your views on the index and on specific stocks as well. Majgaon Dock, one of his recommendations there. We'll take a short break, get you more on the markets and specific stocks on the other side. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, as promised, Manoj Kumar Sharma, Chief Executive Officer of IRM Energy, joins us now. The stock is a significant mover in the session today. This on the back of the fact that the company yesterday made an announcement to the exchanges that they had executed a long-term regasified liquefied natural gas purchase agreement with Shell Energy. So first up, sir, please take us through the contours of this particular agreement. What is the agreement totally about? What is the kind of spends that will have to be made, and what is the incremental revenue potential from this particular agreement?
Yeah, very good afternoon. Thanks for calling me over here. Actually, this entire Shell agreement is somewhere around securing the energy supply going forward. You have already seen the CGD sector is getting minimal APM gases. So in that scenario, going forward to secure our growth, which is to be secured through RLNG now, so that efforts have been taken, and we have entered into the agreement with Shell Energy. For this, we'll be in a position to secure our industrial and commercial customers to a great extent. And of course, for our PNG demand and CNG demand, we will continue to see the government's move and allocation, and some more arrangements we are going to do going forward. So we are at advanced stage of another long-term agreement for 5 years with one of the reputed supplier. With that, our up to 2029-30, to a great extent, we'll be in a position to secure our sourcing portfolio strategically.
Mr. Sharma, good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. If you could tell us who are you in conversations with, if you are at the liberty to tell us that, and by when do you expect this long-term agreement that you just mentioned to be completed? And coming to the Shell bit as well, by when do you expect the supplies to start coming in from there?
The supplies from Shell will begin very shortly from 1st of April itself, and we have phased out our entire demand and supply positions in such a manner, starting from 1st of April 2025 up to 31st March 2030, we will be in a position to start our supplies. And for the another supply sourcing, I can assure you, in a couple of days, maybe within 31st March itself, you will be in a position to hear that from us.
Okay, Mr. Sharma, a couple of important points, if we could get it out of the way. We are ending, nearing the end of FY25. Where will you end FY25 in terms of volumes, both for the PNG as well for the CNG segment? And also, could you give us a sense of the kind of impact you've seen on volumes on account of the reduced gas allocation from the APM?
Yeah, gas allocation, the last question first, I can answer. This has come down from 80 odd levels to 50 odd levels now, and going forward also we don't find that much of light is coming as a support from the sourcing of domestic gases. So under those circumstances, the PNG and CNG, both targets we are trying to grow. Of course, this year, because of lower allocations, some sort of hit will be coming, but not to that extent. Last year we had grown 19% on CNG front, and this year we are estimating around 10 to 12%, something of that kind. Overall, PNG, CNG, domestic and industrial, we believe that last year was a negative year for us in the terms of growth, but this year definitely we'll be in a position to reach up to 12% growth this year.
So when you say this year, you mean FY26, is that accurate?
No, FY 24-25 estimation I am sharing with you. Of course, next year also we have got ambitious targets. Since the visibility of sourcing is coming up and some domestic sources are also very much visible, we will be targeting around 20% plus growth level year to year.
20% growth level in FY26, that's as you mentioned, quite ambitious as well. But Mr. Sharma, how are things shaping up on the volume front on ground, sir? In the quarter, you just announced your 100th CNG station as well. What is the expansion pipeline that you're looking at by the end of FY26? Would you look to double that count?
Not double exactly. Actually, by the time I'm talking to you, we have not only crossed 100, we have reached 105 now. And next year, we are trying to at least gain a growth of 50% more. Over the whatever we are doing now. So in that condition, we expect that 150 around we will be able to reach next year. That will be a good, growth as far as CNG stations are coming, sir.
Okay, so could you help us with a range for the guidance where you will end in terms of EBITDA per SCM for FY25, and also what is it that you're targeting for FY26? Secondly, for FY26, will there be any payment of license fees to the promoters? The street saw this as a bit of a negative surprise a couple of quarters ago. Will that continue or will that overhang go away?
So discussions are going on with the promoters. They are actively considering. I am not privy to that level that I can share anything on the license fee account. But at least I can assure you that in spite of a license fee or without license fee, going forward next 26 FI onwards, we'll be in a position to give a better, much better results. We are focusing more on our volumes, margins and operational efficiency. That side we are focusing much, and the few appropriations that we are leaving it to promoters also. They have got a big repute. Cadila is one of the biggest promoter behind us. So some fair deal will automatically come. That much I can assure you, sir.
All right, Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for sparing time and joining us today. Wish you good luck for the next financial year as well and your expansion plans that you're talking about, and I hope that you could tell us more about the agreement, the long-term one that you have signed. You are in the course on the verge of signing in as well. Thank you so much for joining in today.
To finish up that line, I can very well assure that we have chosen a very good partner, and with them we can be comfortable. And since they are operating here in Dahej only, within Gujarat only, and most of our volumes are coming from Gujarat, more than 49% of our volumes are from CNG sector, and industrial sector also contributes a huge deal for us. So from all that angle, this particular contract which we have signed is going to strengthen our sourcing and also the margin part. So we are very hopeful and we are thankful to you for giving this opportunity to explain our deals. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Sharma. There is a management there of IRM Energy. They are 8% higher on the stock after the deal. And another one is in the works as well, as the management just mentioned. And a small programming note for our viewers now, CNBC-TV18 and HSBC India are back with Season 2 of SME Champion Awards. This prestigious platform celebrates SMEs that are pushing boundaries, making an impact and shaping the future. Nominations are now open. You can scan the QR code and submit your entry for the SME Champion Awards Season 2. Take a short break. Back on the other side. Welcome back. The index is still at around 23,600, still holding on to gains of around 120 points, but cannot take your eyes off Capri Global. At one point was up around 13% just an hour ago, and now that stock is down 26% from the highs of the day, trading 12% lower. And it has come, this fall has come on very, very strong volumes. Almost 10.5 crore shares already traded on Capri Global. The yesterday's trading volume was around 4.75 crore, so nearly 5 crore shares traded yesterday when the stock was up around 15-16%. And now, and if you take a look at the volumes over the last few days, it is anywhere between 1 to 3 lakh shares daily. So it is very, very significantly high volumes on which the stock has fallen now, almost 25% off the highs of the day, 12% lower on Capri Global. Now the top loser on the Nifty 500 from the top gainer in just a matter of 30 minutes. But with that, we call time on this edition of Midcap Radar. From Vivek, me and the team that put this show together, thank you so much for watching. MF Corner on the other side.